Public speaking is extremely out of my comfort zone. So I wrote things down, so I apologize in advance. I am going to pretty much just read it, because if I read it, then I don't know that I'll be able to get across everything that I want to be able to say. So on Tuesday, we visited an orphanage named Remar. Most of the children were in school while we were there to visit, but the Assistant Director, Monty, gave us a tour. The property at the orphanage is fairly large and has 2 buildings on it, one for the boys and one for the girls. The most impressive thing about Remar is that it is entirely self-sustaining. Monty, a godly man who has a degree in agriculture, told us how God has called him to pass along his skills and knowledge by teaching the people in Niger how they can be self-sustaining too. Monty showed us their garden where they were growing watermelon, okra, and other vegetables. And in the picture, you can see along the wall is where the watermelons were growing, and on the back is where the okra was growing. The majority of the food cooked in the orphanage comes from this garden. Monty showed us a massive bin full of onions that they had grown. Against the wall were hundreds of jars of tomatoes that they had harvested and canned. When a team went over the summer, they told us that the onions were just mounded, way over the walls, and the jars of tomato were all the way up to the window. So they were able to grow so much food, and in desert conditions, to me, that just seemed so amazing. While talking to Monty, one thing he continued to stress was the importance that the orphanage not be dependent on outside resources in order to provide for the children. In order to achieve that independence, they had made a significant investment in solar power. They had a room full of batteries that let them store the energy the solar panels created. Monty explained that these provided enough energy for the orphanage to power both buildings as well as their well. Most importantly, this means they do not have a power bill. It was really impressive to see how Monty's willingness to listen to God's calling in his life has impacted the children in such a positive way. Because Niger is so poor, the life skills that Monty can teach are life-altering. And while self-sustainability is vitally important, Monty's ministry also provides a perfect avenue to share the gospel. My prayer is that God will continue to use Monty to share Christ and change the lives of the Nigerian people. Now Jessica is going to talk to you about an amazing little 10-year-old boy that we met.